Do you have questions about buying or selling a home, not sure if you're qualified? Your local real estate agent Antoinette Ware is here for you. Do you live out of town, moving out of town, or looking for investment property? Well, let's work together and make it happen. Antoinette Ware can be reached at 419-917-6258. The name you know, celebrating over 20 years, serving Toledo and surrounding areas. Frida's Cleaning Service is a small family-owned business established in 2003. With over 17 years of professional, high-quality, and greatly satisfied service, the Frida's Cleaning Service will get the job done. Specializing in sanitizing your home, business, post-construction, and commercial cleaning, no job's too big or small. See for yourself and give us a call, 567-249-9172. La Frida's Clean.
Hey there, this is indie artist Chambray Price, and I rock with Queen Silvy on the Queen Silvy Show. Bye, y'all.
Welcome to the Queen Silvy Show. Tune in at 11, good laugh, good vibe, that's for sure. Get smooth with Tim, get smooth with Tim. They have you running like you popped the pill. Once you hear the show, you ain't gonna want it to end. Get creative with the sounds you can make with your mouth. Reaching all over the world, Queen Silvy in the house. Award-winning show, got the #1 spot, look out. It's the Queen Silvy Show. 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 Look out.
Hi, this is Joe Mass. You are listening to the Queen Silvy Show. You are now part of the royalty.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live, it's time for the silky smooth sounds of Smooth Tim and Her Majesty herself, Queen Silvy.
Hey, it is Smooth Tim, and thank you for dropping in and spending another terrific Tuesday with us on the Queen Silvy Show. Excuse me. It is now my absolute pleasure to bring to you the world's sexiest granny, the Queen herself, Queen Silvy.
Yes, it is me, Queen Silvy. How you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in this great world today. Yes, I am Queen Silvy on this terrific Tuesday, the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show. How are you, Smooth?
Stop saying that.
Saying what, Queen? It is what it is. How are you today?
I'm doing terrific, Silvy.
Yes, you mean Queen Silvy?
Yes, I'm doing terrific, Queen Silvy. And how are you doing?
As always, I'm supercalifragilistic.
Expialidocious, I suppose. It's 24/7, 365. Queen Silvy, you're just simply
I know. Amazing.
Yes, you
I
are.
know. Double true that I am amazing. Hey, it is what it is, right? But you are amazing, Smooth. You are amazing. We have an amazing guest today as well as announcements, don't we?
Yes, we do, Queen. As a matter of fact, as always, our hearts and prayers are going out around the world. There's all kinds of things still going on that have been going on for quite a while. They need to start getting some of these disputes, let's call them, settled, so that we can go on with life as we know it instead
Right.
of, wow, times are tough, folks. And, hey, as Queen always says,
Faith over fear. Yeah.
amen. Anyhow, as far as on our guest today, she is an active duty sailor. She is a professional bodybuilder as well as a professional trailer.
That's right.
Miss Stacy Longstreet will be with us today.
Great.
I think you're going to really, really enjoy that.
I'm looking
Maybe
forward
get
to
some
it.
ideas on how to improve your own.
Hey,
We'll see.
that's right.
Anyhow, how about that? Was embarrassing. Anyhow.
Well, I mean, I did it too. I'm like, but
Yeah, she makes us look bad.
that's
just
all right. I'm admiring it, though.
Yeah, that too.
That's what.
Anyhow, how about some analytics from last week's
Hey.
show? The United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Mexico, Germany, Poland, Africa, Ireland, and Australia. Hey, the people down under even listening in. Hey, thank you, folks. Even though, geez, they're like 12 hours behind.
That's all right. We aim to bring the best, and hey, wherever you are, we got you.
That's right. Otherwise, that's just about it.
Hey, that's what's up. Thank you
Oh,
very
well,
much.
I didn't say how we could follow some of our other shows. As a matter of fact, we have a couple of other shows. Tim's Tidbits will be tomorrow night, and also the Now You Know show, which will be on Thursday nights. If you haven't caught any of those shows, as well as if you want to catch up on some of the old Queen Silvy shows, go to our YouTube site. And in YouTube, just drop in The Queen Silvy Show in the search engine, and you'll get them, and you'll be able to watch all those shows. And it's just a potpourri of entertainment.
It surely is. So much we do because we aim to bring the best in live entertainment, talents, topics, and resources from around the world just for you. Hey, I want you to know if you are watching this live, Smooth and myself, we love and appreciate you. And if you're watching this later on archive,
Our love is our last.
our love is everlasting, Smooth. We love and appreciate you on this terrific Tuesday, the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show. You do have time to be kind and spread the word for someone else to come on in and get some of the super greatness we have in store for you. Before we get things going with my wonderful guest, what I'd like to do at this moment is I'd like to share some motivational words from The Queen Silvy Show to you. Never forget how far you've come. Everything you've gotten through and all the times you pushed even when you felt that you couldn't. Never forget all the moments you got out of bed where you didn't even really want to, but you did. About all the times that you wanted to give up, but you got through another day. Never forget how strong, never forget the strength that you've learned and developed all along the way. Guess why? Because you're a warrior. That's right. And those are some motivational words from the Queen Silvy Show to you and you indeed. You know, I will not go any further without representing my good kings and queens all over the world. Like Carmen Jewel with Massage Therapy by Carmen. Simone Enterprise and Entertainment Company and the Simone Family Foundation. A Journey Through Healing with Beatrice Crawford Daniels. Kinsley Patino, Queen Jenna, Queen Ashley, Follette Clark, and Kenneth Rawls.
Jetta to you.
The Helen Myers, Peace Myers, Corey and Casey Patino, and Joan Mercer.
Jetta to you.
To Queen Aaliyah, Asia, Tay, Maya, Camille, and DeJour.
Shout out to you.
To my grandsons, Omari, Jonathan Jr., Tyron, and DJ.
Shout out to you.
To Jonathan Easley, Lee Allen Sr., Wade, and Katrina, LP and Cynthia, Melvin, and Teresa.
Shout out to you.
To Queen Sonia, Kaki, Shanika, Alana, and Precious.
Shout out to you.
To Nancy, Delia, and Chrissy from Fort Worth, Texas.
Shout out to you.
I really think I need to clear my throat. One moment, please.
Whoa, whoa. Moo.
I'm not kidding you. The moo part is the one that gets it. So don't knock it till you try it, right? That's right. To Ryan and Kelly and the All-American boys, Matt and Tracy and the All-American girls.
Shout out to you.
To Pamela Anderson, C. Shorty Franklin, Renita Easley, Gold Rosa, Donna Ferry, Pam Bailey, and Patricia Wilhelm McGiffin.
Shout out to you.
To my good friends in Africa, Amy Kanema, Webster Rito, Hostile Flow, Hero Boy, and Princess Ariel Lua.
Shout out to you.
Sabrina Williams, Diane Harmon, Pinky Savage, DJ Team Broke 100, and Robin Taylor.
Shout out to you.
To my good friends in United Kingdom, Beth Lambert, Nicola Jones, Bethany Jones, and Kay Cross.
Shout out to you.
To Lorenzo Gabaniza, Christine Lewis Anderson, James and Audrey, Serious Edition, and Nanda Linda Hartley.
Shout out to you.
To Edith Verhoek, Queen D. Brown, Sandra and Ben Johnson, Melody Gore Dobb, Miguel Montebon, Brian Pearson, and my good friend, Joe Maz.
Shout out to you.
Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey, if you would love to be shouted out, if you have someone you would love for us to represent and shout out, we will hook you up 3 days a week, every Tuesday, with the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show every Wednesday with Tim's Titbits, and every Thursday with the Now You Know Show with Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim, as we bring the best in live entertainment, talents, topics, and resources from around the world just for you. Check out this resource. And when we get back, the ball is rolling with the super great guests we have just for you on the Queen Silvy Show. It's about buying or selling a home, not sure if you're qualified? Your local real estate agent, Antoinette Ware, is here for you. Do you live out of town, moving out of town, or looking for investment property? Well, let's work together and make it happen. Antoinette Ware can be reached at 419-917-6258. The name you know, celebrating over 20 years, serving Toledo and surrounding areas. Hey, we are back on this terrific Tuesday, the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show. I hope you were kind to spread the word for someone else to come on in and get some of this super greatness we have in store for you. A strong, dynamic queen with family values, discipline, and consistency. She's an active duty sailor serving nearly 19 years in multiple capacities ranging from Ordnance Information Specialist, Quality Assurance Representative, and Recruit Division Commander. Now, for y'all that don't know, that's a drill sergeant. What?
Yeah.
A professional bodybuilder and personal trainer with a multitude of first place trophies. As a woman of God, giving back to her community and incorporating godly wisdom and kingdom principles to those in need. Live from Jacksonville, Florida, I introduce to you Stacy Longstreet. Yeah.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Stacy. Thank you so much for taking the time and being here on this terrific Tuesday. I know that you are one busy queen doing some fantastic things, so we are honored you're here today.
Yes, you're so welcome.
So, it's only been, and I didn't know this, but it's only been in the past 50 years that women has been allowed to join the Navy. So tell me, why did you join military and why choose Navy?
So I decided to join the military because coming out of high school, I was tired of school. We was always going to school, National Honor Society, honor roll. And so I was tired of school and I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. So I decided to join as just a segue to figure out what I wanted to do.
Well, they do have homework. You have to have homework in the military, so you didn't quite get away with it. But you know what? I heard stories, and everybody has their own story about things. But you tell me about boot camp, because that's what I heard stories about. What was it like for you and other women?
Mm. So, in boot camp, I'm not gonna say it was different, but for me, I had already lived in a house with, 3 other sisters. So living with other women was kind of a norm to me, but the amount of women in a room and sharing different things and just coming from different backgrounds, that part was I guess it was a little scary, you know what I mean? Because my sisters, I knew them, but this is complete strangers from different parts of the world that you're coming into contact with and you're living very close quarters with. And in all actuality, they have a lot of weight on your graduation, when you graduate and how the performances and everything occur. So as a woman coming into that, it felt pretty powerful because, like you said, it only been 50 years.
Right.
Women were able to serve. But when they started, they wasn't serving on the front. They was cooks. They was behind the scenes, not getting paid, little nurses. And so now,
well, let me ask you something. Not to interrupt, Stacy, but those were waves, right?
I'm sorry.
They were called waves, right, back in the day.
Waves, yes.
And they did not get paid. I did not know that.
Yeah. So at first they weren't getting paid. It was kind of like a service, kind of like their duties, and then they grew to, get into different jobs in different areas of the Navy.
Wow. Well, we women have come a long way, and we still going. Let me just tell you that right there. But what about the men? Were some of the men hating because, you women coming in and doing your thing? You get that even here in society out here. Sometimes men don't like women doing this or that. Did you ever come across any of that?
Not so much in boot camp as far as the men hating. It was more of a competitive thing. Like, we better than y'all. And you know me, I've always been athletic. So I've always been that competitive person. Like, I could do more push-ups than you. I can do the same thing you can do.
That's what's up. Put them in their place, I also heard that the Navy shower or the military shower, they got all kind of names for it. Is it really like 90 seconds? Is that true?
90 seconds for
a shower.
A shower. So,
I mean, I just heard it and wanted to know.
Sometimes, depending on how you break it up. So a lot of times as drill sergeants, you try to give the reins to the recruits and try to tell them to figure it out. If they can't figure it out, you do the best you can. And you say, okay, we're breaking it up into these segments and this is how much time you get. So if it's 90 seconds, it's 90 seconds.
Well, it's a lot of kids out here that can use that training to save my damn water. 90 seconds is what's up. But, in dedicating over a decade in the United States Navy, share with me where you've served and all the branches.
I started out my tour on a John F. Kennedy in Mayport, Florida, which was an aircraft carrier. We decommissioned that, and then I headed over to Japan for a few years, where I served in the F-18 squadron, forward deployed, which means like 9 out of the 12 months of the year we were deployed, 9-10 months out of the year we deployed. And we went, wherever they called us to go, whatever they needed to do, load bombs, missiles, whatever we needed to do, that's what we did in Japan. From there, I went to California and served in the helicopter squadron, where we trained air crewmen on, the weapon systems and the different guns and stuff, Hellfire missiles. After that, I went to work on support equipment in Virginia for a few years. And that support equipment basically aided in support of the deployed sailors. From there, I myself took my family over to Bahrain for 4 years, and we served over there with the war on Syria and Iraq war, and we had a lot of missions that, a lot of things that we had to do in regards to the publicity and everything that was going on in the world. Then I came back from Bahrain and went to Great Lakes as a drill sergeant, basically as an RDC, and served the Navy in that capacity for like 5 years. And then from there, that's where I ended up here in Jacksonville with the intelligence squadrons, VP-10, and, the patrol squadrons here.
Wow. Audience, give her some. Give her some. That is what's up.
But out of all the military branches, Stacy, why Navy?
Navy. So Navy, I guess, was the most prevalent branch that was at my school. The recruiter was adamant. He was always there. Whatever questions I had, he answered them. He showed up to the house, talked to my mom. he was the most presents we had. So I said, okay, I'm going to the Navy.
Well, I'm glad you did. I'm honored. I want to show a few brief pictures of the one and only Stacy Longstreet in her zone, doing her thing with the United States Navy. Check this out. That didn't do all the justice, I know, but that is so honorable. I'm telling you, I know that your family is very proud of you. I am extremely proud of you and who you've become, the dynamic, strong queen. But Ordnance team member and Ordnance Information Specialist. What was those responsibilities and duties?
So as an Ordnance team member, you basically load whatever it is. You'll help, put fuses in the bombs. You'll help load bombs.
What?
Place the missiles onto the aircraft. You like the last person that touches it before, it goes boom. So, that's what an Ordnance team member. The Ordnance Information Systems person is really the ammunition administrator. So, you're in control of
logistics,
how much ammunition you purchase, how much ammunition is on station in different parts of the world, or, whatever region you're in. You're in control of that, and you kind of just figuring out, okay, well, how much more do we need for whatever fight that is going before us?
Wow. That'd be more interesting. So you got into the logistics part of it, making sure everybody was supplied.
Yes, that was actually my favorite part. I love
that. Would be interesting.
Love the hands-on.
Wow, that's amazing, though. I'm telling you, that is so good. I mean, not only because you're intelligent, you're strong, you're bad, but your attention to detail and physical fitness awarded you that opportunity, as you said before, to serve 5 years as a recruit division commander. I even like those words. I am a recruit. They're like, what does that mean? I'm a drill sergeant. Now, when I see drill sergeants on television, they be spitting in your face. They be tough. They be good. Can you, now I'm not really going to put you on the spot, but yes, I am. Can you give me an example of your commanding voice and what you might say and instruct a unit?
Okay. Division, halt.
Damn, you made her jump.
Yeah, you made me jump. You didn't see that, but when you was like, division halt, I was like, yes, ma'am. But you know what? Do you think that your gender was or was perceived as any distraction or liability for the men in the unit?
No, I feel like it wasn't so much as a distraction. They actually looked at me as one of the strong women. And most of the time, they would come get me, to help with different things. Or, they needed me as an AO1. Hey, AO1, we need you to come get this female together, And so here I go. I'm, marching down the hall, the passageway. And I would do that, correct the females or whatever. But it was also empowering because most of the females looked up to me. They were like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? You are kind of like the image of what I thought, being in the military would be like. And as a woman, as strong and showing your strength and then being as assertive and everything that you are for us, then it was really a blessing to be, a RDC.
That is
really
so great. You really got me with this one because I've interviewed others in the Army and other military, but not a dynamic, strong woman. I tell you. So
I got an interesting question, Stacy. Did you ever come across a nut you couldn't crack?
She ain't gonna tell you.
You had your difficult ones. You had the difficult ones, but I don't think. For me, no.
No. Okay.
No.
What about fear? Have you ever been faced with fear? I mean, sometimes if I'm afraid of something, I'm not even going to tell anybody. I'm going to work myself through that. But, just tell me in smooth.
Oh,
did you ever, especially dealing with the bombs and loading the things, did you ever get nervous like I'm about to blow somebody up? No.
I didn't get nervous. The fuses were the most nerve-wracking part, because if you snatch off one of the wires or something, then it could, you know what I mean, it would start, the timer would begin. So that was the only part that was kind of like, be careful with this, because you know this could happen. But I wasn't really nervous about that.
Good for you. I want it to be known, though, that Navy women, they're rewriting history every day with all that you guys are doing. I mean, one thing that the military teaches everybody is discipline, you know? So for you coming from, the Glass City, getting into this military service, what are some of the things that you can recall about adapting to the military life? Like, you was like, what? They want me to do what?
So some things I can recall adapting was, being away from family. So growing up in Glass City, all of my family was always around. We were in Toledo, and then 40 minutes away was the other half of my family in Detroit. So for the most part, it was adapting of always having to be away. And then once that adaptation came, then it came, okay, now that you're away, you can't even talk to them when you want.
Right.
So that was like night and day. Now you took me completely out of my element, and I can't talk to the people who, would try to keep me grounded or, give me some kind of peace. So now it's kind of, it's a lonely feeling at first.
But you know what I want to ask, Queen, is this, is let's go back before she ever hit the military, and she said that she was academically gifted. And where did you get this discipline to begin with? Was that instilled by mom and dad? Where did that come from?
Yeah, so my mom was really strict on school work, and my dad was really strict on reading. And so I will always, we will always talk about the encyclopedias. Back then you could order the yellow encyclopedias and get them delivered to the house. So my dad would get all the volumes, and we would have to read them, and we kept them on our bookshelf, and we would read about all the animals and everything. And so that was our free time. We wasn't watching TV. You either playing outside and getting the firewood, or you're reading encyclopedias.
Right on. Hey, shout out to your parents, because they love their children and they only want the best for them. And I'm just sure that they are so proud of you. But, give me some do's or some don'ts or some kind of advice that you would tell another woman who's about to enlist.
Ooh, be sure in yourself. A lot of times the military and a lot of the things that go on are really not a personal attack. It's really much more of a bigger picture. And sometimes the bigger picture does not make sense to us as the service member, as the person, boots on ground, as the person actually doing the work. But you have to keep yourself grounded so that you can understand, like, it's a job. At the end of the day, it's a job. And balance. Find that balance, especially as a mom or parent. You have to find that balance. You got to be able to tell them no. You got to be able to, talk to them and let them know what you can and can't do. And a lot of times the supervisors can work with you. Sometimes because of missions or whatever, they're not able to. So you just have to give yourself, like I said, grace and stay grounded.
That's what's up. So share with me, because you are a multiple award-winning bodybuilder. Tell me, where did this passion come from, and when did it enter your life?
So Bahrain is actually when it entered my life. I was in a very dark season of my life. I had a 1-year-old and a 18-month-old or 19-month-old, and I had just moved to Bahrain, and it was just so much going on in my life at the time, in my marriage. It was a lot going on. And so it was, like I said, it was a dark space for me. And so I just figured, okay, let me just go to the gym and just try to, cut some steam off. Let me get in there and relax. So when I come home to my kids, I'm a different mom. I'm not, upset at them for no reason. And so it started off with, just going to the gym, and then I just started, powerlifting. And as I'm in the gym, it just becomes like gym family, like people in there like, hey, I ain't seen you in 2 days. Where you been? So then the expectation is there, and then they're there rooting you on. And so from there, I was just lifting, and I started seeing results, and it just became exciting for me. And then for the past few years, people had been asking me, do you compete? You got a competitive body. Do you compete? Like, no, I just do this for fun. And the people are like, you compete, and win. And I was like, I try it. And so, the first time I tried it, I won, got my pro card, and I'm looking forward to my next show.
That's what's up. But am I correct that for you to get to that point, starting to compete in bodybuilding was just recently, like 2023, right?
Yes.
And and your first debut, you won 5 first place awards.
Yes.
Ooh, that just had to like make my muscles swell even more. Like, what? I mean, what did that feel like for you? That had to be amazing.
And it was actually me and my coach's goal. It was our goal. We was like, we going in to win and kill it. I want to win it all, and whatever I got to do, within the boundaries of staying natural, because I'm natural and I want to stay natural.
Mm-hmm.
So I said I want to push my body as far as I can to win, and that's what I did.
So what did your training consist of in preparation for a bodybuilding competition? What all you have to do, including the nutrition part?
So including the nutrition part, the bulking part was the fun part. You get to kind of eat a lot of food, but sometimes you're tired and you still have to, because you're counting macros and you want to make sure you're getting the right amount of calories consistently every day.
Mm-hmm.
You have to eat. So you get to eat, you get to lift heavy. And then when you go into the cut portion, weeks prior to the show, that's when you go into a deficit, where you're losing a lot of your carbs. You're not getting a lot of carbs. Then on top of that, you're having 2 a day. So in the morning, I would wake up and, fasted cardio. I drink my water and vinegar and do my fasted cardio for an hour. Then I would eat about 2 or 3 meals. And then after there, then I'm going right into a lifting session, and then 2 meals. Like I said, most of these meals don't have any carbs in these meals. It's just vegetables and protein.
That's all right. But when you say water and vinegar, is that kind of the same like when some people have the water and the apple cider vinegar? Same thing,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, girl. I want to show this videotape because I know some men, some women might get jealous, but you know what? If you put your mind to it, you can do it too. I want to show a video of my wonderful bodybuilding champion, Stacy Longstreet. Check this out.
Oh, I remember that. Yes. Oof.
Wow. I'm telling you, 6-pack my ass. I've seen at least a 12. You got it going on, and I mean, your arms is just beautiful. What?
Some of that looked like it might burn just a bit.
Yeah, that one, I'm like, oh, but you know what? It pays off, right? Woo,
Yes,
that was
it
very, very good. I mean, phenomenal. You keep doing what you're doing. You got my vote. You got my vote every time. But you know, the amazing part is it doesn't even stop at that, because you're also a personal trainer that loves teaching others how to properly lift and execute movements. But you know, I want to show this one picture, and because it's of you, and it's a before after. It's an example of if you set your goals and work at something and be persistent with it, it pays off. So with this picture here, this shows, you know, You're beautiful in both pictures, but you can clearly see a difference in a lot of things. Some people would say, well, she went and had a boob job, or she went and had, no, she worked on that. So tell me what it is that you did that.
So for really, because that's a question that I get asked a lot, especially my glutes and all stuff like that. So I really had to lower the weight. I had to stop lifting so heavy at first, and I had to actually focus on engaging the specific muscles. So when you start engaging those specific muscles is when you start getting a lot of growth. And you can lift heavy doing it, but when you're starting off, you have to actually, it's a lot of mind to muscle. Focus on the actual muscle lifting or pushing or pressing that weight, and then you can grow whatever muscle it is that you want to grow.
Was that like every day or every other day? How should someone do that?
So I weight train 6 days a week. I'm not going to tell you to start off weight training 6 days a week because after 2 days, your body probably going to be sore. So what I did was I do three leg days, and then I'll do 3 upper body days.
Very good.
You can split it however you like. You know, most guys are going to do about four upper body days and 2 leg days, or maybe even 1 leg day, depending on the split.
Wow. Well, speaking of leg days, there's another picture. Now, I call it the butt picture, but what was the word? The proper hamstrings. Okay. But listen, it was more than hamstring. Look at that. That is a great before after picture, and it is just from March to July. You know, just 3-4 months. What did you do to acquire this change? Improvement, actually.
Really focus. It's the nutrition. Nutrition is very huge, especially in bodybuilding, and it's the number one thing actually in transformations for your body is nutrition. So you have to stay consistent. Days you don't feel like it. I think I had 1 cheat meal a week. Honestly, it was 1 cheat meal, and it was my 3rd meal on a Wednesday because you can't cheat. You can't have a cheat meal before you go to sleep, so you don't sleep on it, and you want to have time to burn it off. And then you want it in the middle of your workout week so that it catapults you. It's kind of like an energizer and not so much as sluggish feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now you brought something up interesting. How strict is your diet? And additionally, how often do you Jones for a pizza?
Or a cookie?
Pizza is not even nowhere near my cheat meal.
Wow.
But you have cravings. You have a lot of cravings, and you just have to want it more than that craving. And what I tell myself is, Domino's was here 6 weeks ago. It's gonna be here when I'm done 12 weeks from now.
Right. You know? That's that discipline. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you have to do. Get that mindset to go into. Because I must say that. What you have?
No, I was just wondering what her typical meal might be: breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay, so breakfast. So I eat about 5 meals a day. I eat 5 meals a day. So breakfast is going to be a cup of egg whites with a cup of vegetables, whether kale or zucchini, and those are my favorite. Lunch is going to be ground turkey, half a 4th cup of white rice, and then a cup of green vegetables, kale. I've been on a kale kick for a while.
That's what's up.
Kale. And then my 3rd meal was going to be chicken breasts. I got chicken breasts with vegetables and sweet potato. And then my next meal is going to be turkey again, because I can eat steak, but I don't like how steak makes me feel. So I eat turkey.
You eat good.
White rice and vegetables, and then dinner is my shrimp. I take shrimp, coconut oil, and kale again.
Wow, that's still
sounds
good
like
eating.
A damn good meal to me.
But 5 times a day. Why 5 times a day? Tell me that. What is that to do? 5 times a day.
Metabolism, I bet.
Portion control, really. You want to make sure that your body is consistently getting the nutrients it needs. You know how sometimes you eat and you're full right now, and you're full for like 5 hours. What's happening is your body is holding on to that food. You're full because your body's holding on to it because you don't know the next time you eat.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get your body into a routine of knowing I'm going to eat, that energy is going to be used as energy right then and there. You're going to use it, and at that time, and at the times every single day, your body's going to tell you, okay, it's almost time to eat. It's time to eat. It's time to eat. And with that, your metabolism kicks up, and that's how you continuously get muscle build and muscle definition, even fat loss. Is consistency. Consistency is the key.
That's amazing. Well, that's amazing. You're amazing. To have the ability, because you do this for yourself, but you also do it for others. So to have that ability to motivate and encourage people to push beyond their perceived limits. And that's a valuable skill that you have right there. You are very gifted on that. Some people can't do it. I mean, to motivate somebody else to not give up and to keep going in itself is something else. And besides the weightlifting, like you said, nutrition is important. So within that scope of practice as a personal trainer, what is the approach that you use for nutrition advice for clients that want to seek weight loss or muscle gain? Do you tell them something to focus on to eat?
Yeah, so the biggest thing to focus on is the type of person you are. You want to make sure you know if you're a cold turkey person or you're a weaning person, because you can start a diet today, but if you're not a cold turkey person, at 4 days, you're going to go into a binge where you go and eat everything that you couldn't eat for 4 days. If you know that you are a weaning person, you want to slowly put yourself into that discipline of, okay, restricting foods. So you would, so what you would do is you would basically measure off the foods that you eat. So whatever you normally eat, just measure it off. And from there, you just taper it. Okay, this week I had, 5 tablespoons of sugar in my coffee. Next week, let me try 4 tablespoons.
Mm-hmm.
And you start to wean, some of those bad, even condiments, you start to wean those things slowly. And then that's how you get there. And then obviously, cold turkey person, you can quit today and go right at it tomorrow.
Right on.
Let me ask you a question, Stacy, about the competitive bodybuilding. Did the women, and I excuse my ignorance, they get into something like the Arnold Classic? Are you hoping to get to something like that? What are your aspirations?
So my aspirations, I want to stay natural. Wherever I can go natural and wherever I can win natural, that's where I'm gonna go. I wouldn't mind going to the Arnold. That's a great. Oh my gosh, that's a huge.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to the Arnold. I want to make sure my physique is there. I'm not just out chasing, just shows and stuff. I actually want to win. So I want to make sure that I'm prepared. My body is ready to go up against the other competitors because everybody's out there to win as well.
Right. You're right. They're in
Yeah,
to win.
everybody I've ever seen in that competition is super jacked. So,
Yeah,
Yes.
but you have all the potential to take it to the scores.
take it to the rim.
That's right. Sky's the limit on that there. And plus, you are a blessed girl, a woman of God, helping others in whatever fashion God wants to use you. Briefly tell me about Impact Church of Jacksonville and the evangelism team, as well as your work with the Women's Correctional Ministry. I think that is fantastic.
Oh, I love Impact Church. I got down here, joined Impact Church, and I've been a part of, they call it the Dream Team. And so what we do is we help continue to build the church, grow the church. And on top of that, we go into different serving areas. And one of my favorite serving areas is evangelism training at the jail. I go downtown to the detention center of Jacksonville and I talk to the women down there. We teach anger management so that they could go to the judge basically and show that they're making progress in changing their habits so that they can either get lesser time or their sentence can be completely erased. But it's amazing to hear the stories and be able to have an impact on those women's lives in the manner of serving God at the same time.
Right. Some of them probably, do you think some of them are afraid to come forth and talk to you and hear the word, or are all of the women more, more accepting to hear what you have to say to help them out and help their attitude? Because that's important too. When you go up before that judge, you better have an attitude, right?
Mm-hmm. So like I said, with us teaching anger management, incorporating Christ-like and the kingdom principles in there, those women, they do feel comfortable. They feel comfortable talking to me. They feel like because I'm, one of they think I'm one of the younger ones, that they, I can relate to them, which I can relate to some of the things that they go through or whatever. But they love hearing from me because they say I always have like the positive, approach to it. And I look at it in a different manner than other women.
That's great. That is so great. You really, truly are beautiful. You're dynamic, intelligent, you're hardworking, you're blessings, and I'm very proud of you. But now, with all that you do, because listen, we just talked about several things, and I'm telling you, they're work. That's work. But, with all that you're doing, including your mother of 3, Stacy, how do you incorporate balance into your daily life?
Ooh. Balance for me is basically when I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids. So we'll have everything scheduled out, whatever it is we have to do. I'm a calendar person, so we all know what's going on in the house on Saturday mornings, and Sundays or whatever days that they have to serve at the church as well. And so for me, balance is when I'm with my kids, my phone is down and I'm with my kids. They know when I'm with, when I'm serving at the market pantry or when I'm serving at the jail, they know that's what I'm doing. And so I just try to be very intentional about my time at either place. From work, after I leave work, I go, into mommy mode at the sports and stuff, and then into church. So I just kind of, I guess you could say, compartmentalize. You can compartmentalize. I try to compartmentalize everything when it comes to the different things that I have to do in my life.
Oh, they're going to make you pull out that drill sergeant voice and be like, shut up.
Let me ask
Sit your ass down.
And let me ask you a quick question when it comes to your stewardship with the church. Is that something that you were taught at a young age? Is that something that was brought up again with your family?
You said as far as stewardship?
Yeah.
In regards to stewardship, I feel like it's a personal responsibility. My parents always taught me that when you start something, finish it. And it's your responsibility. Basically, you steward that thing. You do the best that you can at whatever it is that's given to you.
All right. Well, you know what? I see that they're doing their little thing back there, trying to come in on some things. But I do. I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing some of the blessings and the greatness that you provide. I want you to keep growing, keep grinding, and succeeding in life. But before we go, is there anything that you want to add? Anything you want to say that perhaps I didn't ask you?
No, you pretty much covered a lot of different aspects of my life. So that was amazing. And I hope this interview was able to help people, even when it comes to nutrition, bodybuilding, military, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Tell everybody how you can be followed on social media.
Yes, me versus me. Me versus me.
You know what? I saw that. That's you, right? That's the name of what you do. See, now that's something that's something to say that I did not say, because I did see that. I'm like, I like that.
Me versus me.
Me versus me. That's right. And that's what it really is about. You can try some. I'm gonna go ahead and tell me one of my weaknesses. One of my weaknesses is
chocolate.
Okay, chocolate.
Oh,
but it's when it comes to the working out part, and I'm sure you've had somebody like this. When you're working out, and once you get sore, I want to quit. But that's when you're supposed to keep going, right? That's when you know you're doing something right. See, that's true with me. So you never know. But do you do online classes? Do you do anything one-on-one online as well as in person?
I do in person, and I like one-on-ones, or I do sometimes I do two, session with two people, because sometimes people like to have their friends with them, which is fine. So I'll train like that as well.
That's what's up. So for me versus me, tell me again, how can someone get in contact with you?
Yes, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm there.
Are you there under Stacy Longstreet or Me versus Me?
Both of them. If you look up my name, Stacy Longstreet, Me versus Me is going to come up. And then if you look up Me versus Me, Stacy Longstreet is going to come up.
That's what's up. If you look up Navy, Stacy Longstreet's going to come up too. Okay. Bodybuilder Stacy Longstreet is going to come up because she is the one doing some fantastic things. Hey, we're going to be back in touch with you because I'm sure there's some more things we could conjure up and talk about. You're that phenomenal. And I appreciate you so much for taking the time being here on the Queen Silvy Show today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome too. You have something to say, Smooth? Commercial. Okay. Well, let's check out this commercial break. And when we get back, Smooth going to tell everybody something. Thanks, Stacy. The Frida's Cleaning Service is a small family-owned business established in 2003. With over 17 years of professional, high-quality, and greatly satisfied service, the Frida's Cleaning Service will get the job done. Specializing in sanitizing your home, business, post-construction, and commercial cleaning, no job's too big or small. See for yourself and give us a call, 567-249-9172. La Frida's Cleaning Service. Our reputation is always spotless.
Wow.
And double wow that, if you will. That was amazing. She's supercalifragilistic also.
Expiality, yeah, she is.
Doing some great things. Oh, my gosh. Stacy Longstreet out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Setting quite the example.
Very much so. Woman of God, doing some great things, very faithful, determined, dedicated. Oh, my gosh. Talk about discipline. That takes great discipline and mindset. for not just a male, but for a female to accomplish and to hold herself so high up that way is binocular.
She is. I think about that. She says she's raising kids, still doing a full-time job and competitive bodybuilding.
Personal trainer.
Busy girl.
Ministering within the community, which is so fantastic. Oh my gosh. She's still an active duty sailor doing some great things. I'm telling you, I meant to ask her, when does she sleep? My golly.
I don't think she does, but maybe in between the 5 meals.
I wonder if I could do 5 meals like that. I probably get fat.
Well, I don't work out enough. I just pork out real quick.
Yeah, but that is great. I mean, taught me some things or two, and I hope that you learned some things and got motivated and want to get on the floor, do some stretches or something, take a walk, eat something more healthy, all of that. And if anyone's out there that's joining the Navy, she said in a good example, don't believe everything you hear, because listen, there is greatness all around, and she is definitely great at what she does. And I appreciate you, Stacy Longstreet, for being here on the Queen Silvy Show. We look for so much more great things for her indeed. And you know that Queen Silvy is fasting right now. I've had nothing but a cup of tea.
I noticed that. Yeah.
I am so ready to smash my face. I am going to do that indeed, but I do
Don't
want
smash
you to...
your face, hon.
Okay. Be throwing food all over my face. But, I do want you to know on a serious tip that tomorrow is Wednesday, and that is Tim's Tidbits, and he is bringing it like he do every week. Anything you want to say about it?
Tune in. You're going to love it. 7 p.m.
That's right. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Check your time zones. Then there's Thursday with the Now You Know show with Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim. That is encouraging, inspirational, motivating.
Potpourri of entertainment.
Potpourri of entertainment coming from the heart from some great people just for you. You are so in for a treat. That is great. We have the show question of the week, and we also end the show with a music video showcase. So you come on back for Wednesday and Thursday. Both shows, that's right. Both shows is in the evening, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do check your time zones, but join us for all of that as we aim to bring the best in live entertainment, talents, topics, and resources from around the world just for you, baby. Yeah, you. So tune in for that. So, Smooth, tell everybody how we can be followed.
Hey, if you missed our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday show, go to YouTube. And in the YouTube search engine, type in The Queen Silvy Show. You'll get the results of all 3 of those shows, as some other projects. And that's the easiest way, probably.
Hey, because we're Googleable,
We are Googleable. But, yeah. And while you're on our YouTube page, please subscribe.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Google Smooth Tim. Google Queen Silvy. Google The Queen Silvy Show. We are everywhere.
Just watch where you Google me.
Silly. But with that
ticklish.
said, well.
Anyhow.
Yes. With that said.
Till next week.
Said. But yes.
Same Queen time. Same Queen station. We'll see you. Bye.
It used to be hard for this family to run and play in their yard. That big pooch left its business all over. Dad would spend his time cleaning up puppy messes. Now, I make sure the yard is clean so they can play without worry. Yes, there really is a poop